Good morning. This is Reverend Cindy Fuller with Inner Quest Church, and this is Sunday, March 29th. And we just wanted to once again put out a little mini service that Spirit gave to me this morning to share. And I would like to start with once again, a reading from the Quiet Mind just to get us all in the same space. And this is what it says. The wellspring of truth. Your spirit is a part of God, and all knowledge lies within you. If in your meditation you will go deep within, you will find the center of truth and of the infinite powers which await man's use. You will touch the spring of all happiness and health. I think that's appropriate for today. It was the next one. We're going in line, and so it was a perfect one. As we start this morning, I wanted to take a moment just for us to connect with God, to connect with one another. So if you'll just shut your eyes, we'll do our prayer. Just take a breath. God, our Father, our Mother, our Creator, I ask that your beautiful light begin to engulf all who hear these words. I ask that a light of love just engulf this property, our church family, our family and friends, just this beautiful light that begins to connect us all. And I would invite each of you just to breathe in that love of God. And let yourself now move to your heart. You can feel the gentle softness. You can feel the presence of Jesus the Christ standing by your side. There's nothing more important than you in this moment. Just feel the love God has for you. Feel your light becoming so strong. And now take a breath in. And as you exhale, begin to allow your light to go out to connect with everyone who hears these words. All equally important in the heart of God, brothers and sisters. And feel that we are connected, human heart to human heart, divine heart to divine heart, and one with all there is, one with God. And just let those showers of blessings just begin to pour into you. And breathe. And just stay in this consciousness as we begin. So when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. And we'll start. Okay. This is the second week of isolation for most of us, where we've been staying at home and trying to handle things in a different way. Spirit reminded me of when I was a child. We used to move every year or so, and it was always across country. So we'd get in our little car and we'd travel for days. And I remember this ability that I developed to go into travel mode, which is I would dim my light and I would just almost disappear until we were able to arrive at the destination, because it was hours upon hours of endless driving. And as they're reminding me of this, they said, this is where we should not go. No one should dim their light at this time. No one should go into this travel mode waiting for it all to be over. This is a time when we really should turn our lights on and begin to receive the gifts that are there for us. So, Spirit said this, for some of us, we are busier than ever trying to find ways to do our job in this new environment. But all of us are going to be moving into a space where the work that we can do begins to shrink. As we go into the next few weeks, the products we might be associated with are no longer in demand. The services are no longer needed. We're all moving into a space of greater isolation from the workplace, actually. Everything will begin to slow. And you're going to find yourself truly with time on your hands and with needing to find a way to invest that energy. When the demand plateaus, this is when you can really begin to work on yourself and your spirit. I know many of you are working on your cabinets and your closets, and that's good too. But it's going to continue, and it's going to be an opportunity for you. So, if you've been with us and following us, we've been working on a series about Christ in love, power, and wisdom. that Jesus taught us that and told us this is what we needed to do. Christ in power, love, and wisdom. He demonstrated this in everything he did, and he also demonstrated in the middle of it that he had a love and nurturing for self. So I wanted to share with you a scripture as our base today. This is in the Aquarian. It's chapter 123. Jesus has just sent out the 12 to go on their missions, 2 by 2, to talk to the people of Israel about the Christ and the love of God. He has also sent out the 70 masters, foreign masters, who are going to their countries to talk of the Christ, the love of God, and the message that Jesus has been teaching them. And then he takes time for himself. So I wanted to start with 123, chapter 10. Jesus went alone across the hills of Galilee, and after a few days, he reached the coast of Tyre, and in the home of Rachel he stayed. He did not advertise his coming because he didn't want to teach. He wanted to commune with God where he could see the mighty waters and he could feel that love of God and that energy. This is something that Jesus loved. He loved being by the sea. And so he was putting himself in a space where he could be nurtured by that, the man, the being. And he could breathe in and commune with God and not be about the teachings and the healings that he'd been doing for so many years. Of course, the word got out, and someone did come in for him to heal, and he complied. But this was not the time for that. This was the time for him. It says that in 23 through 25, Jesus stayed, and then he left to go to another sea. He journeyed in silence, he walked through groves, he meditated with God. His earthly mission was fast drawing to a close, and he sought for strength, and what he sought for he found. At a mount he stood, and he so wanted to kneel beside the mountain that was famed in Hebrew song, Mount Hermon. And he went there, and he allowed himself to be nurtured. His earthly mission was coming to a close. He was getting ready to start the last year of his service. This is the 3rd year of his ministry. When we think about that, we can say, yes, he absolutely deserved a break. He absolutely deserved to be nurtured. He had this big mission ahead of him. But when you think about you, think about me, think about all of us, what we're experiencing right now is also an opportunity for us to reboot, to be nourished, to realize what is our mission that lies ahead of us. For us, maybe it's a time for us to nurture ourselves so we can fully understand what greater can come through us. So he nurtured and he received. It says that as he talked with God, the masters of the olden times revealed themselves, and long they talked about the kingdom of the Christ, about the mighty works that had been done, and about the coming conquest of the cross, about the victory over death. And then Jesus journeyed on. He stayed with Susanna's people. He enjoyed people that he loved. He went to Gadara, and he inspired the people there. And he had a friend who was working on one of the royal vessels, and he got a ride back home on a royal vessel. Everything was about supporting him, nurturing him, and loving him. And when he made it back to his town, the disciples were just coming home from their missions. So, what we see in this is how Jesus got prepared, how Jesus got ready. When we think about our preparation, oftentimes we think that on a spiritual level we just have to prepare our spirits. But in reality, we have to prepare the totality of us, our bodies, our minds, our trajectory, what we focus on. And this is so important for us to really achieve that mastery in love, wisdom, and power. So if we look at just the few little steps that I went over, I want you to take them in for you. Number 1, Jesus took time away. We are all being given this, whether we wanted to or not. This is an amazing moment This is the year the earth stood still, and people will speak of this for years to come. 2020, the entire earth stood still, and people had to realize who they are, what they think, what they're choosing. Spirit also reminded me in every computer program, when it updates, it has to stop the program that's playing in order for the update to be loaded, and then it reboots and it's renewed. Perhaps that's what we're going through right now. The program of mankind, of race consciousness, is being stopped so that a new upgrade can be developed and then put into the current system. And I believe that we are all developing our own upgrade, individually and collectively as a people. It's not going to be given to us. It is something that we are creating in this moment. So, in our hearts, this is our opportunity. So when we look at Jesus taking the time away, we're being given this, thank you, God, we're being given this. So now we have the time to really see what nurtures us. What nurtures you as an individual? If it's the ocean, like Jesus, maybe you could look at photos of your last trip to the sea, the ocean. Maybe you could dream in a new vacation to the ocean. Maybe in your meditations you can go to the ocean and breathe in the loving, nurturing aspects of it. If it nurtures you, do that. We need to be fed food to make us strong. Some of us, it's just to play music. We don't have time to listen to our favorite music. Play your music. Read your books. Write in your journal. Maybe you'll write something creative. Maybe you want to go lie down on Mother Earth and just feel her energy pouring through you, or go sit under a tree. Whatever feeds you. Maybe you want to cook. Maybe you want to do things in your home. Whatever will nurture you. This is important during this downtime. Nurture your spirit. Nurture you. You are unique. What you need, no one else needs. It's for you. The second thing that he did was Jesus went to people who loved him. And this is so important. So often people will say, well, you're too busy. I don't reach out to you because you're too busy. Or I don't reach out to you because you're too stressed. Really? Are we too busy to be loved? Are we really too busy, too stressed to let love in? I think it's up to each one of us to remember who cares for me, who loves me, and who do I love, so that we make those gentle contacts. It could be over the phone, it could be just an email or a text. It doesn't really matter. It matters that you acknowledge and receive the love that people have for you. How nurturing is that? To know that there are people on the earth that support your mission, that support who you are, that just want to sit by your side and say nothing. The greatest testimony of a friend is someone who can sit beside you and say nothing. And just their very presence makes you feel better. You feel that love and that connection. This is really a time to reach out. And I'm not saying go through your phone and call every single person on there. Be aware of the energy exchange that you're creating, and give love and receive that love for no agenda, just to be in their energy. So, the third thing that Jesus did was he asked God for the strength and the guidance for his next step. He took time away. He stayed in space where people loved him, and then he turned his heart to the guidance. God, what do I need to know for my next step? Give me the strength to do what I need to do, the wisdom to do what I need to do. And this third step can come in bits and pieces. When we are open to the guidance, it can come as an aha, it can come through someone's words to us, it can come through our meditation. But the key I want you to look for here is strength. It's not, it gives you an idea that's now a burden for you to do. It gives you strength to say, hey, I can do this now. I have the ability to step forward. I have the ability to do something I may not have thought I could have before. 3 little things that bring you to beginning to create an upgrade to your programming, an upgrade to where you're going to reboot at. So Christing comes in wisdom, love, and force. If we can do these three little things, we can begin to change our world for certain and the world as a part. So if we look at wisdom in this time, and I'm not ignoring what's happening in the world of mankind, we are experiencing challenges, we're experiencing things that are seemingly out of our control, we're experiencing many things. But when we go to the true wisdom of all that is, God is in charge. God has us. God will not let us go. There is nothing we can do that God would let us go. God has us. God is in charge. And when you go to that and understand God is the greatest power, then we can find peace, and we're calling forth a divine mind to begin to permeate all that's going on. Whatever we're experiencing in man's mind or race consciousness, we are now calling forth God mind to be imbued into that. Do you see? So a divine mind can move into these thoughts that are creating concern. If you allow space, God will always make it right. We just have to allow space. So, see the wisdom of God moving through the details. That's wisdom. So we have an opportunity to Christ in that. The other is love, Christing in love. As we're in this time, forgive, and forgive again. We cannot truly love until we can truly forgive. We want to forgive any debt that we feel is owed to us. We want to forgive anyone who may have wanted to harm us. We want to forgive any situation that made us uncomfortable. It is really time to forgive and let go. All of these scenarios that we've held in our mind, all of the characters and the people that have played roles in our lives, in this moment, we would not wish anything on them. We would not wish them to be hurt or harmed. We would not wish them to be frightened or sick. We wouldn't wish that on anyone. Forgive it. Forgive them now. Quit carrying it. This is a beautiful time to say, okay, God, I wish love for the world. Therefore, I will go into my own inventory. And if anyone still bothers me, I will look at it and I will let it go. I'm going to forgive it because it does not matter. And when you forgive, I want you to do this. You send your love to them. You take your power out of the situation and you give them any power of theirs back that you have of theirs. Because when you're holding this, you're holding their power, they're holding yours. Take your power back, give them back theirs, and let there be peace. Just let there be peace. Let them go. Give them to God. Forgive. When you can forgive, you can truly love. And this is when love becomes so powerful in our world. When I hold nothing against any man, then the love that I give to God, to my fellow man, to everything becomes so pure, so pure. So after we've done our forgiveness work, then we need to start sending love. And Spirit asks us to do this. Send love to everything. Send love to your body. Send love to your mind and your thoughts. Send love to your spirit and your emotions. Fill yourself with love first. Then to your family. Send love to your family and your community. Let that love begin to move out. Send it to your state. Send it to the people around you. Send it to the country. Send it to the world. Let the love go around the globe. Send it to the world. This beautiful love, it doesn't take very long to do. Then send love to the virus that is causing us such challenge. Fill it with harmony. Send love to everyone who's dealing with it. Fill them with love, God love. Send love to everything in this world that creates discord that comes to you. Just send love. And then let it go. Use that beautiful energy of God love to harmonize. To harmonize, give it to God and let it go. Let God have space now to make it right. But the love that you have given will have helped open the situations and the people, and they will feel that strength from your love. Then with the power and force, that aspect, as you send the love out, what you're doing is actually using the power and force of God, believe it or not. This beautiful Christed energy within you is now sending it out. So we are Christing that force when we send out that love. By the power of the Christ within me, I align with my Father, Mother, God, and through my consciousness, God's love blesses the world. By the power of Christ within me, I align with Father, Mother, God, and through my consciousness, the totality of who I am, this vibration blesses the world. Beautiful gift, isn't it? And very powerful. You can feel the power when you say that. These are the times to know your divinity, and if we can do this, we can create that new world that we all desire. The world will then look like these three things. A world where we are nurtured and fulfilled, a world of love and support from the human family and the divine family, the celestial family, and where power is used for good. Isn't that a beautiful thing? 3 simple steps. Power is used for good. We can hold the light, and we can hold the love. And now let's go within just for a quick meditation. So I want you to just take a moment to shut your eyes. Feel the beautiful love of Father, Mother, God coming over you. And feel that bubble of light, white, fluffy light around you. And your column, your personal column of love. Father, Mother, God, we ask now that each one feel your presence. And I would invite you all just to take a breath and go within your heart. And I want you to find that garden in your heart where you are always safe and it is always beautiful. Go to the garden. And find your place to sit. I want you to take a breath. God is my Father, Mother. God is in charge. I now give space in my world for the divine wisdom to move and for God to make right the details. And as you say that, just feel the energy around you beginning to move, beginning to soften, beginning to become more harmonious. I give space in my world for God to make things right. And just feel your heart. And just let one person come forward that you might need to forgive. Just see whoever it is fine. I am choosing love in my life. I do not want to hold this against you any longer. I forgive the perceived pain and harm. I give you back any power I hold of yours. And I ask that my power come back to me. I am finished with this. It is no longer a part of me. And I surrender you to God, to God's love and God's peace. And I know God has you and all will be well for you. I am complete. And now feel the love beginning to grow in your heart. And let's just take a moment, take a breath, and we're just going to send this love out into the entire globe of mankind. Father, we ask that your light and your love move to engulf the globe so that all may feel that divine intervention and that divine peace. That we all may feel your light. And just feel the energy going out. Feel that you are at peace. And feel that it has now just gone around the globe and returning to you. And in your mind's eye, in your heart, I want you to take a stand now, stand up, and I want you to just feel your feet and feel the strength within you. Through the power of the I am within me, through the love of God within me, I now ask that my consciousness bless my world and the whole. I stand in the infinite power and presence of God. And feel this strength moving through you. And there's nothing you need to do to prove this. There's nothing you need to do but stand in this strength for a moment. And breathe. Father, we thank you for this. And I want you all to begin to become aware of Jesus Christ by your side. And take his hand. And begin to move out of the garden of your heart. Back into the awareness of your physical body. Of the column of light that you are in. Of God love around you. You are the beloved child of God. Begin to feel the rainbow that is being formed, marking the end of the storm. And know that all is well. Take a breath. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you for being with us today. I hope you felt that beautiful love of God, and I hope you feel our love for you and the love of your church family. Walk in that light. Reach out to each other. We are here. Let's hold our hearts in oneness as we go through this. Yea, God.